Hello. Well, a grand entrance here. Say Light and Love Tarot, or Hillary for short. How you doing? I'm recording this on Halloween, so happy Halloween. Belated by the time you're seeing this, but I hope that you have a wonderful day, that you feel invigorated with childlike wonder, and that you treat yourself to some candy, okay? If you didn't yesterday by the time you're seeing this, I hope that you do it today. Alright, let's get into the reading. Today's reading, I got a message. Oh, itchy nose. Thank you for confirmation, Spirit. Okay, gosh, still there. Okay. Woo, okay. The reading I'm going to do is a message from your past self to your current self, and a message from your future self to your past self and current self. Okay? I don't know. I just got that information. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to start off with the Moonology Oracle deck, just to get a general energy here about what your future self wants you to know. Okay? All-encompassing. Future self, higher self, divine self, whatever. But I felt like future self was really important. Like there's something about this connection to this reality that's really important from your future self, okay? Alright, Spirit, my higher self, my darlings higher self, thank you so much for using me as a channel to guide and instruct. I ask for the most clear and concise messages, information, feelings, and sensations to flow through me for the betterment of my darling, for the highest good of everyone involved. Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you for being here. Okay. Alright. My darling's future self. What do you want, darling, to be aware of energetically? That's all-encompassing, past, present, and future. I'm talking to a very emotionally sensitive person. Okay? And this is actually a strength of yours. It's not a weakness. Okay? We have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. A time for healing, balsamic moon. Emotions are running high, super moon. And then at the bottom you are very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. Okay. So I feel like an all-encompassing message here for your energy is that your sensitivity is not a weakness. And it may have felt like it was a weakness because you were refining your skills to utilize these sensitivities. But it is something that will project you forward towards your goals. Okay? It is not a hindrance to your goals. And you are doing a wonderful job of implementing these sensitivities for your betterment. It doesn't feel like it right now, but that's okay. You have to start off as a beginner, and it takes a long time to learn, and you are not falling behind by any way, shape, or form. You're not. You're perfectly on track. Continue refining those skills. Continue working on emotional maturity with your goals in mind, because this is something that you can utilize and teach others as well. But most of all, this is just a message that you need to understand first to utilize this sensitivity is not to damn it. Is not to scapegoat this part of you as a reason that you're not where you think you should be by now. Okay? Alright, let's get some tarot from your past self, okay? Past self first. Alright, Spirit. What does my darling's past self want them to know right now? The person that they used to be. What would their past self communicate to them right now if they could about everything that they're experiencing and moving forward with? The Fool. You need to take more risks. You need to be more carefree. You could learn a lesson or two from me. I feel like you may have walled off this side of you that was willing to get excited by the odds, by overcoming the odds. Okay? You're allowed to view this side of you as not foolish. You're allowed to view this portion of you as the trailblazer, the trendsetter for your life. There's something here about letting this part of you come back out to play a little bit. Letting that past self of you come out to play. Yeah, look at this, King of Pentacles on the bottom. There's like this overthinking, over-planning, overly practical, like, and I feel like that's what has tripped you up a little bit. Or that's what has mentally tripped you up. Is like having a perfect set of practical plans that leave little to no room for life circumstances or thinking on your toes, okay? And your past self just wants you to know that, like, you can make it happen even if you act on a whim, okay? Even if you get an idea and you just go with it rather than over it. Yeah, it's like our fears have really shunned this carefree part of us that we used to have. And that's likely because of life lessons and learning how to balance being practical and being steady and being, thoughtful. But there's something here about implementing both of them, okay? Both the carefree fun side, yeah, and your practical side, okay? Your past self wants you to know that you could try to research every yeah, 10 of Wands, and then we've got the King of Wands here too. So your past self wants you to know that because you've gotten to a place where you try to meticulously plan for every curveball, every life circumstance, that's taken the fun out of it. It's taken the fun out of it. And your past self wants you to know that even if you drive yourself miserable trying to plan for every misstep, every turn, everything, right? It's like planning these insurances out of fear. Like planning insurances for what you're trying to achieve, for how you're supposed to feel, for what you want in your life, for your goals. Planning insurances, okay? And it's like you're kind of ruining the vibe with it. You could take a lesson from me and just be more carefree, because no matter how much you plan and no matter how much you implement these insurances, it won't have the same effect as you still navigating through your spirit, through your whims, right? There's like this encouragement to lighten up. You will still be successful even if you don't overplan and overachieve and have every circumstance under the sun accounted for with a plan, okay? Like that's really, like you're working too hard, like you're putting so much energy towards all of these things that could block your plans, that it's then blocking your own manifestation of joy and empowerment. And there's just this like, come on, lighten up. Like you can be the king, you can be the leader, you can be the head honcho and still have fun with it and still think on your feet. Like bring the fun back into it, okay? Bring the fun back into it. You're allowed to have fun again, okay? Let's get a message from your future self to yourself, okay? I like your younger self. They're just like, man, chill it out, man. You're no fun, okay? Oh my gosh, okay. Message from Darling's future self that they want them to know. Okay. What does Darling's future self want them to know? Three of Pentacles. It's all going to work out. It does take time. And you do have to be willing to work with the other energies around you. There's not just one right way to do it. There's a place and a time for other energies, other people, other plans. There's a way to implement all three. lately I've been really getting the Trinity aspect of the Three of Pentacles being mind, body, and spirit, right? Not just thinking practically, but, you know, allowing your spirit and allowing your body implementing and your soul, yeah, allowing all of the processes together to set you forward on a solid path, okay? Recognizing the need for all of it, okay? What does your future self want you to know? The Magician, yeah. Ace of Swords, Nine of Cups, Justice, and the Hanged Man. There's that Knight of Wands again. So your future self is signaling back to your past carefree, fun, think on your toes self as well, and saying, hey, don't shun that side of you. Don't shun who you were. Don't shun the mistakes. Like, take time to just appreciate what that version of you was learning to get here. And think about the fact that when you are your future self, you know, you will look back at this time and you will want to see yourself through kind eyes. So go ahead and practice seeing your past self right now through kind eyes as well, so that you're not shunning any impulsive, fun side of you, okay? Obviously there's moderation to be had with impulsivity, and yeah, that's obviously, if you pump the brakes on some things, that was necessary, but how can we implement that fun, impulsive side in a beneficial way right now? Because it feels like we're overthinking, and there's this worrying, there's this fear, there's this I'm not doing enough right now. It feels like there's just this kind of stuck in limbo about why aren't things working out. I'm putting up so much energy to get what I want, and yet I feel like the results are not yielding, and I have all these plans, and I'm so careful, and I'm so thoughtful and meticulous, and I've got my calendar scheduled out with all of these things that I want to do. And it's like, take a deep breath and do something on a whim, okay? Because the worry and the fear is overtaking it, right? There's something here about like letting your heart be free to, there's this leaping image again, like this, it's giving the same energy as the Fool. Yeah, like they're about to chest bump. Okay. So part of the key to you enjoying this process is you getting reinvigorated with that full, carefree leap side of you. It's something that you have to appreciate now, so that you can get into a point where you're in your successes and you've reached your goals, and you are still in that energy of just like, yeah, I did it, and I don't have to overthink it, and I don't have to over worry, and I don't have to fear losing it, and I just get to be this version of myself that is happy, fun, and carefree, right? I don't have to overanalyze all of the hurdles, okay? Like, the great thing about life hurdles and someone who is willing to take a leap of faith is that the two go together. You have to leap over hurdles, okay? So you have to be willing to leap. You have to be willing to take initiative and just like go for it, even though the hurdle's there. That's the whole point of hurdles, is learning how to implement this carefree, take a leap side of you, okay? It's not something that was idiotic or foolish or, you know, yeah, it's not something that was a hurdle for you. Like, your carefree side of you was not the hurdle. Is that you had to learn how to properly jump the hurdle. Does that make any sense? Okay. This is all, it's all panning out, okay? We get the logistics side. We get the logistics side, but there's also this feeling of like, I'm getting the judge in the court system, and the hanged man is being sentenced to a hanging, okay? And so your future self really wants you to like stop sentencing your past self to a hanging over and over and over again. Like, stop hanging that part up. Instead, figure out what aspects of that part of you is necessary for you to move forward. What aspect of you is necessary from that to move forward? seeing it differently, seeing yourself differently, seeing your future differently, implementing each part of you, because there's something about like your past self, your spirit was so invigorated, and yes, there may have been like a cloud of like unconsciousness, right? Not, maybe this was before your awakening or before getting into tarot or mysticism or anything like that, perhaps. But there's something about just like, at least at that point in time, we weren't hyper focused with our ego about what alignment means. You were just living. And somewhere along the line, we've gotten so like hard sidetracked with what we think awareness for our future is. And your future self just wants you to know to just like be here and live. Just be here. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink the alignment. Don't overthink the plans. Like, just live. Just live. You're allowed to. You're allowed to just take the leaps when the hurdles present themselves. It's okay. All right, let me see. I'm going to wrap this up with a message from your higher self encompassing all of this. Okay, let's see real quick. All right, a message from the collective higher self. Six of Cups wanted to come out. There is something to be cherished about your past specifically, and past lives, okay? Past lives. I'm not even feeling guided to like have you look into any past life stuff. It's just something that's like, something about your past self is also tied with your past lives, and it's something that needs to be remembered in kind. I'm getting like a paying respects to the past version of yourself, because the past version of yourself was actually really implementing this past life energy very effectively. Okay, I'm not going to put all those in because they all kind of messed up. Okay, are these all upside down? We've got the Magician out again. Yes. Pay respects to your past self, because your past self was really implementing some stuff from past life scenarios that you needed, and it was implementing, they were implementing it really naturally and effectively. So if you feel like the magic within you has sort of died down, it's because we have shunned the exact part of our soul that was navigating in the spirit effectively. Okay, let's see. Anything else, higher self? The Empress. Yeah, look at this mother. Look at this beautiful mother there. I am your mother. You listen to me. I'm not going to sing the rest of that song. Tell me who gave you permission to speak. Okay, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Cups with that Empress there from your higher self. So we can disconnect from our emotional attachment to what kept us nurturing the improper things in our life. The part that we're shunning about ourselves is the part that definitely feels like it was focused on remaining in control or growing things that were not meant for us. And so that's why we have these strict boundaries with this carefree side of us that we used to have and implement really well. And so your higher self just really wants you to know that you can take care of that energy and still give it a guiding hand towards how it can use that energy effectively. This is just a real emphasis to have that mother's love, that tenderness, that gentleness, that does not want to crush the carefree child spirit within you, but rather wants to encourage its curiosity in a healthy way. Okay, it's not all or nothing. It's not all in, all out. You can still navigate with this energy caringly and move forward in your life effectively. Okay, I really love this reading. King of Swords here, Ten of Pentacles, yeah. And then the Three of Swords is under there. And the Queen of Swords, wow. Wow, okay. Look at all this logic getting in our way. It's like I have an effective plan for my long-term abundance, for what's meant for me, for my generational, for breaking generational curses. And I do feel like you are. I do feel like you are, but there's something here about like, don't forget to keep your spirit infused in this plan to break these generational curses, right? You are the one who's changing the narrative here. You're the one who's making the plans happen. And you don't need to fear that you're repeating that. And you don't need to keep yourself in a soul-crushing belittling of who you used to be either. There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place. Yeah. You've got this though. Empowered both masculine and feminine side. I love that energy so much. Okay, Spirit, let's close this out with Sacred Symbols Oracle. We'll call it a day. Alright. How do you want to close this message off from my darlings? From my darlings past, future, and higher self. Growth and shadow. Ooh. You know, the closer you will, like, I'm viewing this image here of like when you put a flashlight up to something, when you go from far away, right? If the light is back here and there's a blockage here, the shadow that's going to be cast is really small if that light is far away. It doesn't seem like a big deal. But the reason why this feels like such a big, heavy deal right now is because you have really illuminated, you've brought this flashlight up close to this object. And when you bring light closer to an object, the shadow that casts beyond that light looks ginormous. And so there's something here about like recognizing this growth and this illuminating of these blockages or these barriers, these hurdles. Don't get disillusioned by that illusion. It's only because you're so close to that hurdle, which means you're close to getting over the hurdle, that the shadow appears so big. Okay, it is not that big of a deal. It is not that huge of a shadow. These old issues from your past that you are really scrutinizing, that you are really pointing the light on and just like, look, that was the problem. That was the issue within me. The shadows look so big because you have like so hyper focus that light on this issue. And there's something here about just like, if you were to just like back up and stop like interrogating this part of you, the shadow would go back down to shrinking. It only appears so big right now. It's an illusion, okay? It's not as big of a problem as we are perceiving it. Okay, jealousy. Okay, jealousy, what's that? Relief and courage. Affluence. Love it. Okay. So I feel like really the shadow that's speaking very loudly right now is this part of your spirit, this carefree part of your spirit that has been so crushed, so small, that has been dismissed from, you know, discussion, basically. Just like, no, you are not part of this. This aspect of me is not part of this. Get out of here. And really what dismissing that aspect of you is what is keeping this energy of like, why are other people making it better, or why are other people better off, or why are they more successful, or why do blah, 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 blah. Any sort of jealous energy, it's because there's this side of you that you're not allowing to be implemented. And so relief of this jealousy and of this magnified shadow energy comes with you saying, I'm going to have courage, and I'm going to allow this aspect of me to have a place at the table of my thought processes. I'm going to allow this part of me back in with boundaries. Okay, it doesn't have to be shunned forever. It is not going to be the end of me. It is an essential aspect of my soul that deserves a voice. Okay, it deserves a voice. So you're being encouraged to allow this side of you to have a voice, to express itself, to jump those hurdles, because that's the exact part of you that was designed to jump life hurdles. You feel like you're coming up on hurdles, and it's because you've shunned this part of you that is not allowed to jump hurdles. And you've said, no. That part of me is just out of control. I can't even go there. I won't even go there. Okay, so interesting. It's not as big of a shadow as it seems right now. Okay, and it's not as big of a problem as it seems right now. And it deserves a voice. And you're doing all right, and you're doing great. And this part of you is you implementing all of these aspects, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You're still on the right path. You're still doing the right things. It's just you becoming more natural with less suppression of your own spiritual urges. Okay. Because really, the side of you that wants to take leaps, that gets these ideas and then shoots them down, that's your spirit that's got these urges that wants you to take those steps in these directions. So just let go of the plan for a little bit. Like, keep the plan in mind, but like stop implementing it so much that you're like crushing your own spirit. You don't deserve that. Okay? I'm gonna leave this reading here. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was insightful. I hope that it spoke to you, and that you get that carefree, fun side of you again, because it feels like it is just like itching to come out. Like this energy in me is just like, let's go. Let's jump some hurdles. Let's jump some life hurdles. Let's do it. Let's take the flashlight back, get me out of this interrogation space, and just get over the hurdle. Okay. I hope that you have a great weekend. I love you so much. I'll see you Monday for Manifestation Monday. Okay? Take care, and ta-ta.